Hey there, I'm Ryan. I live in China and work in the media industry here. I've gotten to visit some beautiful places and meet remarkable people from all walks of life.
It was during these travels that I encountered something I couldn't really comprehend. And it all started while I was working on the script for a space project my company was doing. I must have reread that quote at least 20 times to make sure I got the translation right. I just couldn't believe it.
我其实算了一下，我工作也就到60岁的话，也就33年，一年按300天的工作量的话，其实我这一辈子也就只能给国家做1万天的贡献。
What would make someone think like this? And why was he so full of conviction? But over the next year, I would soon find out that he's not alone in this thinking. I discovered a group of grinders. These people aren't chasing wealth or recognition. Instead, they're dedicating their lives.
And the next time I ran into some individuals similar was in Yunnan. The first of which was a man fresh out of school, living high up in the mountains in one of the Han minority people towns of Ajake. This guy, Yambing, he came willingly to live in this village, a village with, very minimal resources. But the biggest thing for me is he didn't even speak the language, right? These people didn't even speak standard Mandarin. They spoke their own dialect that they had passed down for, hundreds of years, thousands of years, because he had to learn a whole new language. There was no dictionary, no cheat sheets. It's an entirely oral language. And yet he persevered. He's brought tourism to this town to allow the Hani people to make money and prosper. He's helped them figure out ways to take their handicrafts and their very difficultly harvested rice and sell it and take it to market. All the while, keeping this town as authentic and as true as it could be. I had to dig deeper and I asked him, I said, why? Why do you do this? What is your driving motivation? You could have gone anywhere. You could have taken your skills and your knowledge and gone anywhere else. And his answer was much like the man that worked on spacecraft. He said that he felt that it was his duty to come here and do this. He was required to, though no one was making him. He truly believed that the best use of his talent was here in this remote village where no one would really know about it, no one would find out about it, but that didn't matter to him. And from there, I took a short hop to the hot, dry valley region of Yunnan in an area called Honghe. So Honghe is where I met Dr. Zhao. He was working on desertification research, and he had found a plant where he was attempting to cultivate and grow this tree in this area to help stop the encroaching desert in this area and turn it back into a green, lush environment. And this research was not just for this area, but for other regions of China that have a similar climate. And speaking of the climate, when I say that Honghe, this dry, hot valley region, was unbearably hot, this place is one of the worst climates for filming I've ever been to. And yet Dr. Zhao works here day after day. He worked every day tirelessly on this project. And just like our friend Yambing, no one was pushing him to do this. This was his choice. He truly, truly believes that this is what he should be doing. And at the time I interviewed him, he had a 3-year-old child. They lived so far away And his work was so important that he only got to go home and see his family once every month and a half, every 2 months, because it's not that he didn't want to. You could tell he was very sad, but this calling, this work that he is dedicating himself to, he felt that, this was more important. Wang Chun is affectionately referred to by himself and his peers as a rural architect. For those of you who don't know, China still has a large portion of its population that live in rural villages and counties. And these are the areas that Wang Chun goes to build up. I had the luxury of traveling with him to one of these villages that he's been working on. These rural people are very closed off. They don't like outsiders. They like things the way they are. And so it makes sense that they wouldn't like someone coming in telling them, hey, we're gonna bulldoze down all these homes and we're gonna build you new ones. But this is exactly what Wang Chun does. And he does it very successfully. But in order to do so, every single village he goes to, he goes and lives there for at minimum half a year. He goes and lives with the people, has town hall meetings twice a week, connects directly with the inhabitants of these rural areas, and builds his own rapport and trust. He's a talented architect. He could go to a major city like Shenzhen, Shanghai, Beijing, and he can make good money doing what he does. But instead, he chooses of his own volition to spend the extra time and effort in these villages. He explained to me that if not him, someone else would come in here and do this. Wang Chun doesn't just tear down traditional homes and put up your typical box apartments. He takes feedback from the community. He understands what they need, why they need it, and what they want, and he gives it to them. He gives them a modern yet traditional feeling, new place to call home. And out of the 2 places that I went to that he's worked on, I heard nothing but rave reviews about him. And it's clear that he's making a difference.